so low.
Beauty. All right, we live.
Also,
Yes, sir,
what y'all
I'm
think
getting
about
on.
Amon Ra's big brother talking cash about Detroit? Did y'all see that?
All right, look. So if this was the Facts Over X podcast like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I wouldn't say how I'm feeling because like that
Talk
wasn't
your talk.
that
Preach your-
wasn't
talk your
the
talk.
show that we were trying to portray to our audience.
Talk your talk.
That man, I could look that man in his eyes, and I can see that he date exclusively white women. He got the look. He got
And
the
he got a
look.
white mama. And he got a white mama. Y'all ain't hear that from me. Y'all ain't hear that from me, but the boy got a
They
white
say you're
mama.
moving too fast.
Hey, you know what I mean? Coming white mama and exclusively white women is crazy. But that's neither here nor there. That's neither here nor there. Proceed with what you got to say, brother. Proceed.
I was just saying, if that's the lifestyle you choose to live,
But you know what?
I'm not gonna say
Detroit might
more
not be the
power.
city for you.
You said-
Detroit might not be the city.
That's-
for you
that's
if
all
what
I'm
you're
saying.
looking for. All right? You know what's crazy? I told my frat brothers down here, like, listen, Detroit women are different, and they was like, "What do you mean by different? Like, do they act different?" I'm like, no. Well, yes, they act different from North Carolinians, but they looks are not. They are not the same, brother. I am telling you, like, Detroit 6 is a Raleigh 10. I am telling you, and like you will not believe me. They said no way, no. So one day,
Detroit got a bad reputation, man. People
I
that
don't know
don't.
how.
Yeah,
I don't know how. Well, I know how Detroit got because folks hate black people. Folks
Yeah.
hate black people. That's really what it is.
that's the real
But
reason.
I told my friend brothers, Detroit got some of the codes out. That's just what it is. And one of them saw a shorty that I like picture and was like, "Damn, y'all got shorties built like this in Detroit?" I said, "Brother, I went to high school with that woman, and she was not one of the baddest ones there, and she's still not. See, if we went to the reunion, she was still not, but she is fine though. She's a beautiful woman. Again, a Detroit 6 is definitely a Charlotte, a Greensboro, a Raleigh, a Durham 10. Like, and that's no offense to the women down here because they're beautiful in their own right. They're beautiful in their own right, but it just that.
They don't just understand. They don't understand.
Yeah.
Detroit
They
stepped
don't.
a little different when it come to that, bro. They do.
Listen,
They do.
listen,
Detroit stepped
they
a little
said,
different.
They said, no way. I said, all right, bet. I'm going to bring the baddest out. I'm going to show y'all just 5 of the shorties I went to high school with. And, like, we were in the same space at the same time. They did not believe me. They did not believe me.
Hey, listen.
Brother, it's in the archives.
Is that why niggas be acting weird around
Yes.
pretty girls, bro?
Yes. They not you. Bro, I pulled out my yearbook and I said, this is this one, this is that one, this is that. Bro, I have no reason to lie to y'all. This is how it's different. It's different. I'm sorry
Hey,
to
listen.
tell you.
Outside of New York, right, and outside of the states that you got the good weather, the Miamis and the LAs, bro.
Yeah.
You ain't telling me Detroit is like, not number 5 on the list.
But
You're not telling me that.
At the
Outside
same
of
time,
New
though,
York-
look, at the same time, though, somebody that spent a lot of time in Florida, a person that's living currently in Atlanta, and those warm weather places, a lot of them women is manufactured.
And wait, let me take it a step.
100%.
Let me
But
take it-
Miami hit different. I ain't gonna lie to you. Miami hit different.
Let me take it a step deeper for you. Most of those cities where you think about the finest women are like transit cities. They're like very much so. The women are not from there. And if you ask a lot of those transplants where they at, I got a rule, and it has not failed me yet. Generally speaking, the prettiest woman in the room is always going to be either from Detroit or somewhere in Michigan. It never fails. When I lived in Houston, the baddest short, I was always like, well, let me just, I wasn't even, anybody who know me knows I'm a faithful man. When I was in Houston, I was in a relationship. But even when I'm in a relationship, I'll tell a young woman, hey, you are absolutely gorgeous. I just wanted to let you know that you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I'll chat a little bit, not even on no like, hey, I'm trying to get your number, I'm trying to get at you type deal. Just like a how you doing, how's your day, where you from, real basic stuff. Every time I heard, yeah, I'm from Detroit. Yeah, I'm from Flint. Yeah, I'm from Saginaw. I was just like,
All right, I keep it
I'm
up.
outside of Miami, New York, and LA. Miami, New York, and LA. Detroit, right there. It's right there.
And mind you, I lived in Houston where they said all of the bad. They said, hey, it don't get no bad, especially for my type in particular, which everybody know. It's tall, it's caramel or darker, it's real thick. Everybody said Houston is the place for it. And the shorties also, hey, Hey, I'm just telling you what I know. I'm just telling you what I live. You know what I mean? That's all I'm gonna tell you.
All I'm gonna say is Detroit, yes. Flint, yes. You probably with a shorty from Sag Nasty. I don't know, my boy.
Listen.
Yeah, bro. You said Saginaw, I let it slide. You said I let it slide.
Hey, listen. I hear you. I hear you knocking, but I promise you. See, Josh, you saying that because you ain't lived out the city long enough. Chris stayed quiet because Chris been out the city long enough to know. If you see a Saginaw 7 in Massachusetts, oh, that's a 10. That's a 11. That's a 11.
Hey, I'm not gonna hold you. As somebody that's been living in Atlanta for a year now, Atlanta is the place where they tell you all the fine women is at.
Yeah.
They lied.
Yeesh.
That's
hey,
all
please
I'm gonna say is they lied.
Hold on. Do not put us in. Do not put us in with the Shits and Gigs pod. It's not like that. We are big enough Detroit, a city that is by and large, by population percentage, blacker than Atlanta. So please do not come for us saying we don't. Hey, have any of y'all ever had a white girlfriend? Anybody in here ever had a white girlfriend?
I've never had a non-black. No. I've never dated somebody that's non-black, let alone a girlfriend.
Me neither. So, you know what I mean? That's just not where we at right now. That's just not. So I don't want those allegations put on me.
I'm not going to make any further comments because I just need one clip to go viral and I'm cooked. So
Hey, listen, can't nobody, all I'm saying is we all telling the truth right now. Now, in the future, that may change, who knows? But at this moment, can't nobody come at us and say, hey, you look like, no matter what we look like, the history is there. Pull up the receipts, baby.
I don't know if that was a shot at me, but my entire life, I always got hit with the "you look like white girls" allegations, and I don't know why, bro.
That's nasty work.
I don't know why.
Yeah, bro. Like Guyton is like the N word of N words. Like, bro, Guyton is the type to take. He be like, bro, I ain't got nothing to eat, bro. Man, grab them noodles and put some beans in it or something. Like, Guyton is one of them type of dudes. He improvise.
Hey, noodles and beans is crazy.
Noodles and beans is a various combination. That's a
I'm just saying. People don't. If you know Guyton, you know Guyton gonna make something shake though. He ain't gotta have $1 in his pocket. He gonna make something shake.
His comments is that I'm very pro-black, which I appreciate. I just don't know where the white girl allegations came from.
Hey, listen, it's okay because I got those same allegations when I was in college, and I'm like, why? And they're like, because athletes generally don't, and I'm like, y'all athletes don't. Y'all athletes, that leaves me out hear them, baby. I'm from the blackest major city in America, okay?
I guess
if you don't like black women, you just don't like women. You just don't like women. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
I guess they see me and they be like, you play video games, bro. You mess with wrestling, you be reading comic books. White girls, no sir. No, sir.
But they don't understand. They don't understand that we didn't see white people until we got to college. Like, that's when we started seeing white people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when we started talking to white people.
It was when I started. My brother was big into Harry Potter, so my mom used to take him to like the little Barnes and Noble joints and the little Borders joints. And I used to like.
But I'm talking about like getting to know white people. I'm talking about seeing white people. I'm talking about like getting to know them, having conversations.
Yeah.
Bro, we did, and spending time with like I'm gonna call my white mans and I'm gonna hang out. We ain't do that till college. Till college.
That's facts.
Hey, you know what I mean?
Just saying.
You ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong.
Listen, bro. Listen. The only white boy we had was white boy Kev.
Hey, R.I.P. to Kev, man. R.I.P. He is deceased.
Yeah, R.I.P.
He is deceased. Okay, I didn't want to
he
kill him
died,
if he was still alive. I didn't want to be that guy like, hey, R.I.P. if he's still alive. But anywho, R.I.P.
He could be watching a podcast, pissed.
Listen, like I said, do not put us in with Shits and Gigs. I don't want nobody saying that we are like them, because we all, even though all three of us have different definitions of what a bad woman is, all three of us have different definitions. Not a single one of us. If you look at us and like, hey, what's a bad woman to you? We would come out with something like what Shits and Gigs would. You know what I mean? Hey, no disrespect to them boys. No disrespect to them. We wouldn't come out with that. Okay? So you know, just keep it respectful there. But see, now y'all done got me all sidetracked, man. And we still got to talk about this because it's a lot of nefarious behavior going on in the world. Okay? Miami had the largest comeback in the FBS this year. Down 25 points to Cal on the road in California, in Berkeley. 28 points unanswered. And yet the story of the game is not Cam Ward's heroics. It's not the missed targeting. It is that man, Michael Irvin, being on all fours, fully like, and actually he wasn't even on all fours. Bro was what's the word I'm looking for? Do y'all know how to describe that position?
He was in a let's just say he was in a flat downward dog.
There we go.
Yeah, if you ever did yoga.
There we go. He was in a flat downward dog. And that rose the question for us because my co-host, my lovely co-host, Grayson Boone on Locked On Wolfpack asked me, would you do that every game for State if it meant that State was going to win a national championship, right? And you don't got to do it for the whole game. You just got to do 5 minutes a game in that position. I said, brother, I will walk into that locker room and I would tell them, boys, we might not make a bowl game. This is up to y'all. You got to do it because I ain't contributing to this. I ain't doing it. But that did beg the question, what is the most outlandish thing you would do publicly for your team to win a national championship? Tell me what team it would be and what you would do for them to win a national championship, Super Bowl, World Series, whatever the case may be.
All right, so y'all know my team is the Detroit Tigers, and we currently in the middle of the playoffs. That's my favorite team.
Who let the Tigers get high?
Come on, baby.
Who let them
Come on, baby.
Let's get it.
All right, so this is a real thing that I've done, and it's not even. It wasn't. The Tigers were good at the time. I'm pretty sure we made the playoffs that year. This was 2011.
The Pablo Sandoval year? That was 2011. That was 2011. Pablo Sandoval year. Yeah.
So y'all remember the Armando Galarraga perfect game?
Yeah.
That first base umpire Jim Joyce messed up. And y'all might be wondering, we know you're a very avid sports fan. We know that you remember stats. I'm the stat man on the show. How do you remember that first base umpire's name? When I was 15 years old, I want to say, I made a Facebook group to send death threats to Jim Joyce.
For legal purposes, he's lying. For legal purposes, this is a joke.
God, you can't just admit a felony on air. Like, what?
That was 14 years ago in the page. The page is long gone.
Is the statute of limitations
14? Gotta be.
All right, I got you. So what would you do? Would you remake that page to see the Tigers win one?
If it meant the Tigers won a World Series?
And mind you, you have to do whatever it is publicly. So, like, you got to tweet from the page publicly, like, oh, boy, we're coming for you. Like, you got to do it.
Oh.
But that's the part that make it difficult. Because privately, we would all do some terrible things. Like, if somebody tell me what I got to do for the Lions to win a Super Bowl, behind closed doors, some crazy things. Some absolutely outlandish things.
If I post it, how long do I have to keep it up?
It actually don't matter
until they win.
Everybody got to know your face, and like it got to go through the full playoff run. So your face has to be attached to it.
Okay.
It has to be from Josh Guyton. By the
We're
way,
the Tigers to win a World Series. Yeah, I do it.
Oh, you sending death threats for the Tigers to win a World Series?
Yeah, I do it.
Hey, that's how you know that brother don't plan on having no kids. He is happy childless. He like, hey, listen, he gonna text his shorty, we finna get married anyway. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go ahead and get the conjugal visits popping, because the Tigers gotta win this. They gotta win this shit. They gotta win this shit. They ain't won one since they.
He gonna have every. He gonna be rolling his bet over all playoffs. Just he win. Bet it right back.
I'm gonna make sure my people took care of before I go.
Absolutely. Chris, what's the most outlandish thing you would do and for what team?
All right. So I didn't think of this, but a buddy of mine just told me, like, he works for Detroit Water and Sewage, right? And he was telling me how filthy, like, actual, like, water that's not used in the house actually is, right? It's over millions of bacteria that, you know, so when you're younger and you hooping outside, right, your mama be like, y'all stop coming in and out my house, right? Drink out the water hose, right?
Oh, that
it's actually very nasty.
Yeah.
Dirty as ever, bro. Dirty as ever. It's a different filtration system for that. Yeah, it's a different filtration system from that. Now, some houses are different, but like if you had a water hose that was attached to like the garage or something, it's a different filtration system, right? My buddy was telling me this, right? So I would drink out of one of those every day if the Miami Heat could win a championship, if the Lions win a Super Bowl, if the Steelers win a Super Bowl, I would drink out one of those every day.
Risking life and limb for something he's seen 3 times in his life. You are wilding, brother.
If it was a Lions Super Bowl, I understand.
Nobody has ever seen that. Like,
and it's not even you was too young to remember the Miami Heat 3 championships.
This man
Hey, listen.
That last one.
You had a valid driver's license last time they won.
I was just about to say, I know exactly what you were doing last time the Heat won. We're not going to talk about it on there, okay? But we know exactly what you were doing last time it happened. I'll tell you what. The worst thing that I would do publicly for the Lions to win a Super Bowl, I'll streak for it. I'll streak. I'm very proud of myself. Not going to lie to you. You know what I mean? I think my body look good enough and all that. I'll streak. I'll do it.
Where though?
Where? Times Square. Times Square. Times Square.
Yes. If it meant the Lions get a ball, absolutely. Absolutely. As long as I know the cops ain't gonna like take me out the game from it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
I'm cool.
How does that feel like Times Square kind of a cop out low key? Because there's so much weird stuff going on in Times Square. I don't think people are bad an eye, bro.
Listen, I don't care if it was the Brickyard at NC State. I don't care, bro. I would do it anywhere for the Lions to win a Super Bowl, bro. What?
Through the auto show? That'd be a good one. Through the auto show.
Anywhere except my church. Anywhere except my church. I would not streak through my church. That's crazy. But anywhere else, like the people in the church don't know.
He said, I draw the line at the church.
Listen, there's certain grounds that I'm not playing with. But everywhere else, bro, like, what? As long as it's not like a like school or something like that, where it's like, hey,
yeah, you try to get you a felony. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you on the weird case list, because as long as it's not that, I'll be all right, bro. I'll go ahead and do that one time. But again, I would rather be standing upright and running through a main street than be on all fours on the sideline every game. That is crazy. That is, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, I can't live like that. I can't.
Somebody's doing extracurriculars activities.
As a matter of fact, I want to know from the chat, because we don't get the chat involved enough in these things. Chat, drop what y'all would do, what team you would do it for, and what you would do for that team to win a championship.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Grizzy in the chat a Bengals fan, so you might be as down bad as you.
Hey, Grizz better be prepared. You better do what you got to do, okay? You better do what you... Let me tell you something. When was the last time the state of Ohio saw a professional championship that wasn't bought by
2016
Ramon James? No, that wasn't bought by LeBron Ramon James, because that one don't count.
Never. I don't think the Indians almost did. No, the Indians won. Indians won in 2018.
I feel like they did win. Yeah, the Indians did win recently. I feel like
the Indians did. Remember Braun and Wade? They played the Cubs.
And now them boys getting shut out, finna get their ass put up down.
Hey, Scuba pitching the last game too.
Scuba pitching tomorrow?
Bro, that's 4 days. He's back. He technically pitch tomorrow. That's 4 days.
Oh yeah, we living good, baby.
If Scuba's on that,
I'm about to go get my 50 for my buffs.
Let me tell you something. I'm so ready. He didn't have to do it, but I'm so glad he did. Anywho, we got a great show to get into, because Michael Irvin ain't the only receiver pulling off some nefariousness. And the interesting part is, Josh and Chris are not caught up on the Diggs situations, as I will say here. So we've got that going on, and we've got so much more on today's episode, because we obviously need to talk about our Tigers being in the ALCS or being one game away from the ALCS rather, and what the playoffs look like for MLB. And we need to talk about football as well, because I'm telling you, the NFL has some things going on. Josh Allen going 9 for 30. Justin Herbert ain't threw over 175 yards all game. We don't know what's going on in the NFL, but we're going to try to make sense of it right here with the Facts Over Axe crew. Fellas, you ready to get into it?
I'm ready for it.
Yes, sir.
All righty, well, let's do it. What's up, y'all? Have a seat. It's your favorite hour of the week with the Facts Over Axe crew. We got the master that makes it master, Josh Guyton, in the building.
That is I.
You got the money man, the man who's playing, Chris Allen, in the building.
Right here, right here.
And then you got the little old MC, that's me, Kenton Gibbs. Now, fellas, I'm gonna do this in waves. I'm going to do it like how Gears of War used to do it. I'm going to give you one wave, and then the next one, which is progressively much harder than the one before it. So, you all know that when the Vikings did the whole, like, who on the team would you not let date your sister a few years ago? The answer was overwhelmingly Stephon Diggs, right?
Yeah, I do remember that. Video? I do remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it's being reported widely. This is just what's being reported.
Allegedly.
I believe it. Exactly, allegedly. Stephon Diggs is the gentleman who Cardi B was engaged in the activities with while she was pregnant. He was the one she was playing 10 toes to Jesus with while she was pregnant, is the allegation being lobbed out.
Hold the F on. Guyton, did you do this?
What you mean?
Did you do this?
Wait, what?
Because the story last week he just told us about bro and how bro.
That is facts. That is
hold the F on. This is Guyton. You spoke this into the universe, Guyton.
He did. This is Josh Guyton. This is Josh Guyton at his finest. Is it Josh at his finest or at his worst? Who knows? I don't care. Either way, it's some shenanigans. It's some shenanigans in the mix. It's some shenanigans in the mix. I know that much. But what do you think about these allegations? Are they believable? Do you think Diggs did?
I mean, yeah, they definitely believable. Do I know or necessarily like dig into what's going on in celebrities' lives? Not necessarily, but at the same time, we doing a podcast about sports. He's an athlete. I knew there was some stuff going on with Cardi, and she said she was sleeping with somebody while she was pregnant. I didn't dig too much into it because I didn't really care, honestly. But like, he a professional athlete. That's a nefarious activity. I wouldn't put it past him.
Okay. All right. So both of y'all believe that this is possible. Both of y'all believe, hey, this is something.
I think so. My only struggle is I don't believe Cardi B lives in Texas anymore. So, okay. I mean, obviously that don't matter. They're rich and they can figure it out. But the allegations were during the football season. It would have been kind of hard for him to, do all of this.
That's very true.
Without even having a bye week. So that's why I'm think about it, right? Like a lot of those football players, they go home to their family and they right back on the plane somewhere else, or either they right back to practice, then they go into their workout, then they go into the chef cook for them. It's kind of, I don't know. That's the only part I'm struggling with. If she don't live down there in Houston anymore, then I don't know how much I really buy into it.
Okay. All right. Now this next batch of allegations, this is why I said it gets Diddy-Bolical, because this is crazy. This is.
Hold on, it's a part 2 to this? Wow.
Oh yes, there's a part 2. Oh, it's not a part 2. I'm sorry. This is a whole separate thing. This ain't Nate Dogg saying, "Get ready for the next episode." This is a whole different show.
Okay.
Houston Texans wide receiver Stephon Diggs has been reported to attempt to have non-consensual relations with a gentleman after drugging him. And again, he attempted to have relations with this gentleman after drugging him, and then his brothers beat up the gentleman who he allegedly attempted to drug and take to Pound Town. So that's another thing that is being reported, which, by the way, this is being reported by some fairly unserious folks. So I want to throw that out there. I don't want to say, hey, this is a real thing that is definitely to be taken seriously, but this is a report that he did some real Diddy-Bolical behavior here, drugged and attempted to, put a young man in the Michael Irvin stance, if you will.
Understood.
So, how believable is it? Do you believe it?
So you got to look at it from two different perspectives, right? I am not a person as to come on here and victim blame. Also, we all know at least one person that has been a victim of some sort of sexual abuse in one way or another.
Yeah.
So I always want to take those allegations serious. As long as they remain allegations, whether the truth will come out later or not, I'm not entirely sure. And I've also said for years that, especially when you reach a certain status, and I believe in the NFL it's a little harder to do so, but once you reach a certain level of status or fame, I think it's very hard to stay morally sound, at least for the average person. I don't think the average person is mentally strong enough to be presented with these vices and with this lifestyle for them to say no, if I'm being completely honest.
Right.
But at the same time, I will say the timing of the allegation, I just find interesting because it's coinciding with the whole Diddy situation, and it's also coinciding with Stephon Diggs' name being hot in the media right now because of the last episode that we just discussed. So you also have to keep that in mind too, because there are also people that even though sexual abuse is something that should be taken serious, there's also people out there that exploit those things in order to get some kind of notoriety or fame or a lawsuit or whatever the case may be. So I think we need to take both sides into account. But your initial question was, is it believable? Yes, it's definitely believable. I wouldn't put anything past anyone, if I'm being honest.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Chris, what you thinking?
I mean, obviously, allegations like this are not situations where the little boy cried wolf. You gotta take them serious. Yeah. However,
it's something going on in Houston. It's something. Moral of the story.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to touch. That's what I was just about to touch on. Like, I mean, people didn't want to believe the allegations about Watson, and then we saw how that ended up being. Yeah. I mean, he was the horny dog that never had his day until he had his day. So that's why I kind of believe in it, because most people, when they get caught in allegations, when they making that kind of money, they could A, pay for it to go away, and B, it never comes to light because they didn't pay so many people off that they just got rid of the situation in general. So I mean, it could very well be true.
I'm gonna tell you this: these folks better prove everything they saying, back it up real tight. Because if not, the lawsuits that's gonna be coming down, we've seen Cardi B already sue Tasha K into like. That woman is begging and pleading, please let up, please get your lawyers off my behind. And I'm telling you right now, like, if I was Stephon Diggs, I play in the NFL, and somebody's tarnishing my name, the Cardi B thing is one thing, like, that's a terrible allegation, but like, to go even further than that,
yeah.
If somebody popped out with that allegation on me, oh buddy, don't worry about it. You will be prosecuted to the full extent, or not even prosecuted. You will be. My people, you're not going like every dime you get, your grandkids gonna be paying my grandkids. Like that's how we gonna be rocking this thing out. If you sit up here and say something like that against me, because that's flatly obscene. That is, very very nasty work. But you know what's also nasty work? Josh Allen going 9 of 30 against those same Houston Texans. Oh hey, PU, that brother stinks. What do you all make of the Diggs revenge game with Josh Allen just throwing an all-time stinker in which the Houston Texans roll? What do y'all think about that revenge game?
I think you look at it from two perspectives. I think now is the time to start having a serious conversation whether or not Josh Allen is in this elite quarterback conversation, because that's a conversation he's been put in for several seasons now, and there's been people who have done a lot more, who have maybe proven the same amount or even proven more, but they can't get put into those conversations. And you got a lot of young players that's coming in right now, and they doing a lot more with a lot less than what Josh Allen has had. And anytime it's a big game, we going on 5-6 years now where anytime it's a big game, Josh Allen is not the person that you can rely on to get it done when it matters most.
Yeah, that's just that's tough. Chris, what do you think about this performance? What do you think about this game overall?
I mean, if you look at the game, to me, losing 20-23, you had a bad game. To me, that's one of them games you take. You say, I had an off day. It's like losing to Charlotte in like the third month of the season. It's like you just take that game, ball a little sheet of paper, throw it behind your back. Oh, Kobe, and win the trash. All right, I ain't think about it no more. I mean, honestly, Josh Allen's team, the way his team is constructed right now, they should not even be as good as they are right now. I'm going to be honest with y'all. You traded his number one receiver, and you brought in Keon Coleman, who in college was fantastic, don't get me wrong, but didn't have a game that you could see translate right away from day one in the NFL. And then also, you lost a lot of key pieces in that secondary as well. I think that Josh Allen has been overperforming this year. Now, this might hurt him with the MVP conversation because this was a big game that, you know, he could have really stamped his foot on the pedal. But to be honest with you, behind Sam Darnold and Jaden McDaniels, I got Josh Allen right there at third for the MVP voting. I mean, honestly, he's been phenomenal the games previous to this game.
You know, I'm going to say this. I think that the Houston Texans are for real, but they need to stop playing with their food. When you take a 20-3 lead in the NFL, that game should not be close. How do you get up 20-3 and let a team come back with, again, their quarterback completed 9 passes? It's not. I could understand if Josh Allen put on an absolute masterclass to the point where you like, hey, you know what I mean? You just gotta put your hands up and say, you know, guys are gonna be dudes sometimes, and you just gotta live with that. The fact that these boys cannot run the ball to save their lives is very concerning for me in terms of the Houston Texans. Like, what's really happening here that you have one of your top 2 running backs rushing for 15 carries? Guess how many yards that man had on 15 carries?
15 carries.
Just take a wild guess.
I'm going to go 98.
Okay. Chris, what you think? Texans leading their running back that got the most carries, 15 carries. How many yards do you think he had in this game?
I'm going to say 48, 49.
30.
Ooh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
30. Congratulations. If you're listening to this podcast, if you could fall forward and you are 6 feet tall, you have accomplished the exact same thing as what their running back did in this game. Like that, you have to be able to kill the clock, run games out, and you need to be able to do that with your backs. I understand that that Dameon Pierce was hurt and all that, and he's their big power back that normally does those types of things. But boy, 2 yards a carry is just pitiful. That's awful. I mean, that's just some nasty work. But on the Bills side, I mean, I think we're seeing the Bills for who they are. The Bills are playing in this year's version of what we saw to the NFC East a few years ago. The AFC East is so bad, I don't think that they'll have much competition. You have the New York Jets, who just fired their head coach. Fun fact about the New York Jets. Over the last 3 games, they allowed 12 points per game. They're 1-2 in those 3 games. I'm going to say that again. They allowed 12 points per game over the last 3, and they lost 2 of them. Okay, then you go to the Miami Dolphins. Tua is not okay. Therefore, that team is not okay. New England, Brady ain't walking through that door. Belichick ain't walking through that door. Those boys are 1-4. So I think that they're going to back their way into the playoffs regardless of how mid they are, which could be to the detriment of Josh Allen. Because don't get me wrong, he has to play better. That was trash. That was toilet water. That was awful. But like Chris said, you sustained some serious losses. And you don't replace those guys, you're going to get a lesser product on the field. So that's something you're going to see. But meanwhile, his counterpart, the guy that everybody's still unsure of, even though he's got 2 MVPs already, outduels just Joe Burrow once again to now continue the Ravens' winning streak to 3 with a 41-38 overtime win. Fellas, what did you think about the overtime win from the Ravens over the Bengals? What are your big picture takeaways from that game?
So I could look at it from 2 perspectives, right? On one hand, I've seen it for years now, but the world is finally seeing how elite Lamar Jackson can be as a quarterback, right? And that's literally nothing but wins. We've seen he's been elite all this time, but he hasn't been able to pick up wins, and he hasn't been able to pick up the wins for the reason a team. Like, you can still say his best weapons throughout his 6 years in the NFL has been Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews.
Right.
Fix his offensive line. You still working on getting him a great receiving core. I'll give them good right now. But you gave him one elite weapon, and look what he's able to do with it.
Yeah. And I want to give y'all a really fun fact about this Ravens team. So, in the NFC North, right, they're tied atop the NFC North with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's the difference between the Steelers or here's the difference between Lamar and everybody else. The Ravens have allowed the second most points in the AFC North. They allowed 126, only 19 less than the Cincinnati Bengals. The difference, the Ravens are 3-2, the Bengals are 1-4. So nobody can go with that. Oh, Lamar's just got an elite defense. The defense is doing everything, and he just has to do enough to not lose it because he's having to go out and win some of these games. And don't get me wrong. I don't want to dismiss Derrick Henry at all because, again, he is leading the league in rushing. But I'm just saying this is a very serious moment where I look up and I say, hey, you can no longer argue. You can no longer contest. You can no longer say anything about Lamar's eliteness other than it exists. It's here. This is him. We all saw the play with the low snap where he's looking discombobulated. The offense is looking discombobulated. He's being pressured. Nobody knows what's going on. Boom, touchdown. That's the essence of Lamar magic, but I think that's the problem with Lamar magic because why does my starting quarterback have to do that? Why does my starting quarterback not have a center that's going to put it right there and everything goes as it should so he can drop back, read the defense, what are we looking at, what's the concept, let's make it happen. Chris, what does it say to you? I know you're an AFC North guy. I know you don't want to talk about it because your Steelers got them coming down soon, but talk to me. What does this 41-38 win say to you?
I promise this is not the hater in me talking. I promise this is not the Steelers fan in me talking. I let the record be known.
Here we go.
Let the record be known. The Bengals lost that game more than the Ravens won that game. Here's why. Joe Burrow, a quarterback that has been struggling. Gibbs, can you remind the fans at home how many touchdowns Joe Burrow threw for?
I believe he threw for 4 in this game, if I'm not incorrect here.
5 touchdowns. He threw for 5 touchdowns.
Sorry, he threw for 5, yeah.
He threw for 5 touchdowns. Okay. Can you tell the audience how many touchdowns Lamar threw for?
4.
Okay.
4 touchdowns.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
he threw 4.
This was in all means a shootout, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Derrick Henry was held to 27 yards through 3.5 quarters. 3.5 quarters.
Right.
The Bengals in overtime got downfield in under 3 minutes, and they got to stop. Then they got back downfield in under 3 minutes. The kicker bobbled. The holder bobbled the ball, and the kicker kicked a straight football. The Bengals lost this game. The Ravens didn't win this game. The Ravens did not play good. The numbers look like they did from Lamar because that's how the offense is set up. The Ravens did not play good football this game. They let Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase pick them apart.
So how did the Ravens come out on top in this game? Because you told me that the Bengals played well, the Ravens did not. But how did they come out on top?
Because the Bengals made too many mistakes down the stretch. The mistake, one, you gave Lamar the football back after they already gave the ball up. Right? That's the first mistake. You don't give Lamar the football back. The second mistake is you didn't execute on defense and you kept passing the ball for more touchdowns. Zach Moss should have been taught. He should have needed oxygen. He should have needed one of Diddy IVs after the game.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Okay. He would have been running so much when we got the lead. Could correct me if I'm wrong. Did the Bengals not have the lead in this game?
They did. Yeah, they led. They led for a good chunk of the game. Absolutely. Yeah.
Why you keep rushing to get Lamar the football back? This team is based off Lamar. This team thrives when Lamar has the football. What you keep getting back on the field for? You want to know how the Chiefs beat the Ravens? Lamar sit his ass next to the coach. He sits his ass next to Harbaugh. That's why the Chiefs beat the Ravens every time.
I mean, I will say this. They started off the third quarter with a 10-point lead. And they started off the fourth quarter with a 10-point lead. And, well, things happen as they do. And the Ravens got it to overtime. So, you know. Again, I just want to let everybody know. The excuses about Lamar is not elite because of all these weapons, all this help, defense, and all that good stuff. I need y'all to do a thought experiment for me, okay? Carolina Panthers, do they have a winning or losing record?
Losing record.
Cincinnati Bengals, winning or losing record?
Losing record.
Jacksonville Jaguars, winning or losing record?
Losing record.
Los Angeles Rams, winning or losing record?
You just called them boy the Wham, so I know it's a losing record.
They're 1-4. So the boys
he called them the Whams because they get popped.
They are in fact getting whammed every game. The Las Vegas Raiders, winning or losing record?
Losing record.
The Arizona Cardinals, winning or losing record?
Losing record.
Winning record.
Okay. The Arizona Cardinals are 2-3.
They should be 3-2.
No,
they 2-3.
No, they lost 3 games. Yeah.
Oh, they lost to the Lions. Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts, winning or losing record?
Losing.
Okay. So they're 2-3, losing record. Cleveland Browns, winning or losing record?
Losing record for sure.
Dallas Cowboys, winning or losing record?
Winning record.
They're the first team that is even in the Ravens stratosphere in terms of points allowed with a winning record. I need you to think about that for a second. Here's the order in terms of points allowed per game this season. Panthers, Bengals, Jaguars, Rams, Raiders, Cardinals, Ravens, Colts, Browns, Cowboys. I want you to think about that for a second. When you want to say, oh, it's the defense. No, it is Lamar Jackson being a phenomenal player who takes games over at will. So, last thing before we get away from the NFL talk, because we could talk about the NFL all day and night. We really and truly could, because there is so much meat on the bones in terms of the NFL. However, when you look around every single division, I'm going to tell you every division leader, and you tell me who is the most likely and who is the least likely to be the division leader at the end of the season. For the NFC West, we'll go NFC then AFC. For the NFC, in the West, you have the Seahawks as the leader. In the NFC South, you have the Falcons as the leader. In the NFC North, you have the Vikings as the leader. In the NFC East, you have the Washington Commanders as the leader. Which team is most likely to hold on to their spot atop their division?
I think you said the worst team is in position?
Oh, no. The team that's in the best position to hold on, and then we'll get to the team that is in the worst position to hold on to their spot atop the division.
Okay.
I'm probably have to go Washington in the best position.
Okay. All right.
They're in the probably the third hardest division. I would say the third hardest.
But just looking at the other ones, like, that's tough. There's nobody that's clear cut and run away with a division right now.
So Josh, you got Washington. Chris, who you got? Talk to me. Come on.
Me?
Give me something.
I know where you're
Most
going.
likely.
I ain't gonna lie. The Vikings look like they was born again. I'm not gonna lie. Gibbs. So hear me out. I know you gonna fire me up. I know you gonna cook my ass. But hear me out. If the Vikings, who already beat the Packers, right? They already have one game on the Packers. Even if they split with the Lions and the Bears, right? Which is very possible. Their division game is very possible. Even if they split, they're playing teams at home so much better than the team that's visiting them that it ain't even in the same stratosphere. It ain't even close. And if they split the game with the Bears and the Lions, that's still only two losses. Two losses from a division standpoint. Every other team in there either has two, and the Lions have one loss. I don't see a team better than the Vikings right now. I'm sorry, other than the Chiefs, obviously. I don't see a team better than the Vikings. And the only reason why I got the Chiefs better because they got my homeboy at quarterback.
Right.
They have receivers. They have a defense. They have an offensive coordinator that's calling plays like he's Andy Reid Jr. They are playing football. I am so mind blown by this. They are running the football well. They are doing everything well, Gibbs. You can't take that from the Vikings. I'm sorry.
So, and I'm gonna give you some stats on why I think you're wrong. I think the only team that's in really good position to keep their spot is the Washington Commanders, and let me tell you why. The NFC East is the only division in football. The only division in football where the guys at the top have a positive point differential in double digits and every other team has a negative point differential. They're the only ones. So, for example, in the NFC North, the Vikings are plus 63. That's amazing, right? The Lions are plus 22. The Packers are plus 20. The Bears are plus 28. I want to read these stats off from the NFC East, and you're not going to believe me, but it's right here in front of me on ESPN The Show. The Commanders are plus 40. Dallas Cowboys, -4. Philadelphia Eagles, -10. The Cowboys are -10. No. I'm sorry. Let me read this one more time. I got a little dyslexic there. The Washington Commanders are plus 40. Cowboys are -4. Eagles are -10. Giants are -15. And I know point differential, especially this early in the season, could just be indicative of a really bad blowout. But all of the NFC North is positive 20 plus. No other division
100%.
in football is close to that. Nobody else.
100%. But
no other division has everybody positive. No other division has everybody positive 20. That's crazy. No other division has more than two teams that are plus 20.
100% Gibbs. You know I'm a math guy.
Absolutely.
The Washington Commanders are at 40, and their competitors are slightly below 0, -4, -10.
Right.
The Vikings are 63. Their competitors are 20, low 20s or mid to high 20s. That's the same differential, just lower number.
No, it's not. You're looking, okay.
40 to -4, and then the lowest one was for the Bears.
Hold on. The difference between the highest and the lowest in the NFC East is the Commanders to the Giants. That is a 55-point difference. The biggest difference between the Vikings and the lowest in the NFC North is 43 points. That's the lowest.
That's what I'm saying. It's still over a 40-point differential on both sides, bro. It's still pretty bad on both sides.
I hear you, but on one of those sides, every team is a winning team. Every single team in the NFC North has a winning record. 3-2, 3-2, 3-1, 5-0. I think that's a much different. You know what? We ain't got to go back and forth about this. Let me ask you this. Which team is least likely to hold their spot? Which team do you look at and you're like, it's only a matter of time. Y'all boys are cooked.
I'm leaning between Seattle and Atlanta.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with Seattle just because when you look at Arizona, Arizona's been up and down to start the season, but we see what that core is able to do. We see what Kyler Murray is able to do, and Cliff Kingsbury is not behind the helm. And then also you're looking at a San Francisco team that's very seasoned and was favored to win the NFC this year. They're just dealing with a lot of injuries, some that they'll recover from by the end of the year. And Seattle still got games against both of those teams that they have to win. I mean, they're only a game ahead right now.
Right. Okay. I feel that. I mean, I definitely agree with you there. Chris, who you got as a team where you like, it's only a matter of time. Y'all boys are done.
I'm going with Seattle as well. The only reason why I don't go at Atlanta is because the Panthers and the Saints are just going to plateau, and I don't even think neither one of them teams get 7 wins. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are tough, but once again, Baker has shown us this many times. He has flashes, but Baker gonna bake. So I'm gonna go with Seattle. I'm going to Seattle because, and Gibbs taught me that, by the way. Baker gonna Baker. I used to be high on Baker Mayfield.
Always.
Baker gonna Baker.
Always. That was when, even coming out of college, I did not get the hype. I said, I do not see it. I do not know how that's y'all number 1 overall pick, but okay.
Yeah, so only reason I'm going Seattle as well, I just have to believe the 49ers ain't going out like this. They're injured right now. I just believe they're not going out like this. Their defense is like on its last prime year. Like, I think this defense, other than Fred Warner, is probably on its last year where they can really say we're one of the best defenses in the league. And if they don't make some shake this year, then the 49ers are going to have to go to rebuild mode. And they're going to be bad for a very, very long time because they have a lot of money tied up to that team. So, I just got to believe that they're going to come out of this.
I got you. Mine is most definitely the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing out of their heads right now, but so is the rest of the NFC North. And at some point in time, the other shoe is going to drop for Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is still Sam Darnold. You can't fool me. You can't trick me. You can't trick me with Sam Darnold. I'm sorry.
Hey,
you
bro.
can't do it.
Listen, bro. Listen. You remember mans that used to sell the Kool-Aid at Cass? I'm drinking it. I'm drinking every last one, every hour on the day, bro.
Let me tell you something, okay? I will never, ever, ever believe in Sam Darnold to win a division and do good things to this degree. I will never, ever do that. I'm sorry. You can't get somebody else to do it because I'm not buying it. On the AFC side, your division leaders are the Buffalo Bills, the Baltimore Ravens, the Houston Texans, the Kansas City Chiefs. Who is in the best position to hold down the fort in their division?
I'm going to go to Texans. The Chiefs only because they so banged up. Only because the Chiefs so banged up and they still got teams that are winning teams in their division. The Texans, though, we want to talk point differential, right? Point differential. Mm-hmm. The Texans are negative themselves, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are negative 46.
Second worst in the league, behind only the Dolphins. I'm sorry,
okay.
Third worst in the league, behind only the Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers. Ugh.
Okay, the Colts, Anthony Richardson, he got a lot of bad habits that we can see are unfolding now. We didn't see a lot of last year. We saw flashes of what he could be. But Jonathan Taylor due for an injury. I wasn't either, honestly. I love my dear brother in the bond. I love my KSI. I love my Fanu Pie. I was never sold on Anthony Richardson. Never sold. Me neither. I'm not going to hold you. Me neither. I thought he was good to be a mobile quarterback, but not so. And then if you look at the Titans, I mean, can anybody name 5 players on the Titans right now?
I know you got Jeffrey Simmons. I know Caleb Farley is there.
Gibbs, you don't count. You don't count, Gibbs. You don't count. Okay. Guyton, can you name 5 players on the Titans? Derrick Henry's no longer there by the way.
I know Will Levis.
Say Will Levis 5 times like Dylon.
I know Will Levis. I know D-Hop there, ain't he?
No. D-Hop not there no more, right?
He not?
I thought he got out of there.
Well, no, D-Hop is there. D-Hop is there.
Okay.
D-Hop is there. D-Hop is there.
Oh, I thought he got up out of there. Damn,
who the backup? Is Mason Rudolph still their backup?
But okay, you name it. He don't even play, but okay.
That's all I can name.
Yeah,
that's all I can
name.
I can't name you nobody on defense.
my God, that team is gross. Ooh. Ooh, that's a nasty.
My point. And they're not even the worst team right now in that division.
I agree. That's just a terrible division. It's a really bad division. It's a really, really bad division.
Yeah.
So. All right, Josh, who you got?
All right, most likely in the AFC West, I'm going with Kansas City just because they don't have the steepest competition in the world, and also they're Kansas City. We've seen a million pieces for them go down. They've been doing the same thing for like 5 years in a row. I'm not surprised by that at all. Least likely, I hate to say it, I'm gonna have to go Baltimore.
Same.
And that's only because Baltimore still has shown a lot of holes. The game starts on the line, and their offensive and defensive line is not the best in the world. And honestly, Pittsburgh is the only other team in that division that can give them some competition, as opposed to Buffalo. They don't have any competition. Houston don't have any competition. Kansas City don't have any competition.
And you know what? We might as well end the show there because I was going to say the exact same thing. Who do you see pushing Buffalo? The Jets, who don't have a head coach. The Dolphins, who don't have a quarterback. The Patriots, who we don't know if they have either, with all due respect to Jerome Mayo. We don't know if they have either. We don't know what May is going to look like. And Jerome Mayo is a rookie head coach coming along with a rookie quarterback. What does that look like? You look at the AFC South. We just talked about that. Every single team is a negative point differential. Ugh, yuck. And here's the worst part about it. We are in week 5. We are about to start week 6 coming up here. Did y'all know that 2 teams in the AFC South just got their first win of the year last week?
Ugh.
The Titans and Jaguars just got their first wins of the year. 1-3, 1-4. Gross. And so, you look over at the AFC West, Bo Nix is not going to push Pat Mahomes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The Chargers, I like them. Roman is your offensive coordinator. Not going to happen. The Raiders, players
Jim Harbaugh's your coach.
Exactly. The Raiders, players are begging to get out of there. Them boys on their hands and knees. Please get me gone. Please. Whatever you got to trade me for. I don't give a damn if you trade me for a bag of Skittles. Get me gone. So, I think the Ravens are the only ones that have a team that, like, it makes sense that the Steelers could compete, even though they've got problems at the quarterback position and at some other spots of their own. Chris, you agree with us? You agree that the Ravens are the least likely?
Yeah, I do. I was sitting here debating it, and really trying to give the Jets just a slight bit of confidence just because they do have the better team in their division and it's still early. But Aaron Rodgers got more gray hair than my dad almost, bro. It's over with, bro. Pack them up. We got Jets pack in rotation right now, bro. We got Jets pack in rotation.
Jets pack in the air is gas or what? Folks, I know y'all tired of us talking about, but on a serious note, before we get out of here, right? We have talked about some very edgy and interesting topics in these last few episodes and whatnot. We've pushed the envelope a little bit. But we want to make one thing clear. We joke about these things and all that. No means no. No means no. If you got to drug somebody, if you got to do all that, it's not consensual. It's never worth it. We never gonna yuck your yum on this show, right? Whatever you into men, women, non-binary folks, you into the little costumes, whatever. Hey, more power to you. We is not gonna judge you for nothing we might judge you a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. But if it's consensual, you're going to get a lot less judgment than you would if you taking something. And I hope, and it is my sincerest hope, that if you learn nothing from this show, if you don't get no ball knowledge, you don't get no laughs, you don't get nothing else, no means no. You hear it no once, hey, I'm good. Appreciate it. See you later. Okay? It's too many folks in the world to be taking something, man. So, we normally end it on an upbeat, fun note, but today we got to end it serious to let y'all know we are taking these things very seriously. Yes, we talk about them on the show, and yes, this is part of entertainment, but these are real people's lives, and we don't want to see people hurt by a lack of understanding for consent. So peace and love, y'all. Come on back next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. Peace and love.